Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and today we're talking about 10 things we're thankful for in gaming. We figured we'd do this one since it's around Thanksgiving, and we also did a list. I think it should be out probably before this video about 10 games that you could play for Thanksgiving because we I don't know, we kind of thought their themes, the type of game they were, kind of fit for Thanksgiving. So you can go check that video out if you want to see 10 games you should be playing at Thanksgiving. Uh,
Yes, the definitive list.
yes, it's the only list. Definitely the only list out there. And if you don't like Thanksgiving as a holiday, you go back and you check out our Halloween games.
If you don't
You
like
can
that
check
one
that one out as
either,
well.
you stick around for Christmas games.
Yes, you subscribe so that you'll see when that one comes out.
Yes.
But otherwise, yeah, we've got 10 things we're thankful for in gaming.
Yes, and as you can probably figure out, we're a bit crazy for lists here and rankings, and that leads us right into our first entry here. It is ranking, and that is exactly like us managing all the different games and every part, ranking the mechanisms, ranking the designers, the publishers. It's one of our favorite things to do, us too, on this channel. I know we just love making a top 10 list, ranking all the games of a certain category. So satisfying.
Yes, it is definitely one of our favorite things to do. We do it outside of just board gaming as well. I'm guessing Michaela likes ranking things as well, but I don't think nearly to the level that we do. But yeah, board games definitely gives you the opportunity to rank things kind of all the time in different ways. You know, artwork on the covers, favorite Euro games, unmatched characters, card artwork, or card abilities, factions, and tapestry or civs. Yeah, just endless things you can rank if you want to. So if ranking things is a thing you really like to do, board gaming definitely provides that for you.
Yes, yeah, like the most popular website about board gaming, Board Game Geek. It has all the games ranked on the
It
BG
does.
Top 100. It's a huge deal. So
Right. Yeah,
it's crazy.
definitely.
It's crazy, and I think it is a hobby that a lot of people do share that interest, I think, with us.
Yeah, I think yeah, it definitely lends itself to that.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of probably similar to I don't know if you're into movies and stuff. I feel like that's another thing we would like to rank, but yeah, just I think any time where you have I don't know a product that you can take a lot in and not take like an insane amount of time out of your day, or week or month or year, just something that allows you to rank things. Have the ability to compare a bunch of different things together.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and if you want to see us rank movies, comment below if you want us to make a Nacho Average Cinema channel.
Yes.
That would just completely outshine this, and it's like we really care about board games the most, but everyone just wants movies. Uh,
We did do some lists on that actually when we did our Dino Mania.
that's
So we do have some.
probably not the best
No.
example there. We went on a little long. We can ramble just because we are so excited to talk about those things, which leads us into our next topic. That is excitement, especially towards new releases from our favorite designers and publishers.
Yes. I think anytime at least the way I feel, uh, anytime I know like somewhere is like, oh, this next Wednesday we're announcing a new game or whatever, it always gets me really, really
We're
excited
counting
because I'm
down the
like,
days.
right. I do count down the days. And yeah, I'm just like, yeah, even if it ends up being something I'm maybe not as interested in, I always get that good hope of yes, this is going to be something really good. Or yeah, Garfield games as well. Whenever I see that they're going to have a one of their kind of announcement video things, or I don't know, whatever videos that they make with kind of announcements and other things. That's exciting. And yeah, if you got designers like Bruno Catala, if you hear he's bringing out a new duel game or just a game in general, I tend to get excited about specific designers as well. Just being like, oh, this is a new game from whatever. And it's like, huh, well, I really like their other games, so what is this one about? Um, yeah, it's just different levels of excitement.
Yeah, it is. It's very similar to movies. It's kind of like a
It's true.
director, you like an actor, or maybe a franchise like Unmatched is a series of games, and it just hits every single set, it seems, and every new one is just like a new Marvel movie releasing back when it was in its top form. Maybe not so much now, but it's just like that every time there's some announcement or some release, and it's just like waiting for Christmas again and again and again.
Yes, it is. It is, and it's great. I can see how, for some people, that could be a negative, could be overwhelming. There are times where it can get a little bit overwhelming, maybe even uh, for me sometimes when there's just so many of those exciting things. But uh, yeah, I still think more of them are exciting more than overwhelming. Uh,
Yes. Yeah, I think it's
but
a good problem to have.
yes, I would 100% agree because you don't have to have them all, but you could be excited about them all.
Yes. Yeah. But the hype can be a bit much sometime, and the community really loves to hype things up. But I think that's one of the things that makes it great is the community. And everyone kind of sharing their unique thoughts on a game, whether it's their favorite or something that they have no clue how anyone enjoys this game and it's trash. And this is probably geared for me specifically, probably just towards kind of our little community that we've created with Not Show Average Tabletop and some of the commenters that have stuck around with us and watched a lot of our videos, and it's just real heartwarming to see them keep coming back, and it's like, wow, taking time out of their day to watch us.
Yes, we definitely appreciate when we see those some names in there that just yeah are coming back to our content. We really appreciate it. And yeah, that's just always a lot of fun seeing comments because I feel like yeah sometimes there we'll go for a stretch of not getting any comments. So it's always fun when we get that. Not that we're asking for comments, but if you want to comment below what your favorite thing is or what you're thankful for in board games, we'd love to hear it. But yeah, just yeah, the community in general and learning about new games and stuff, especially when we do our top 70 lists and some people share their kind of their lists with us. It's always interesting to see like these games I've never heard of, and I'm like, I feel like for the last few years, I mean, there's so many games that come out you couldn't possibly keep up with everything, but I feel like I've been in maybe too far into the hobby for the last few years. So most things I feel like I've heard of, but
Yeah.
I love hearing about those things, especially it's probably some of the older stuff that I haven't heard of, and learning about some of those is a lot of fun. But then it can also be a little maybe disappointing when you find out it's like a 15-year-old game, it's out of print, it's $200, but it's still fun to learn about them.
Yeah, yeah, it's just a great way well, it's a positive and a negative because either it's out of print and you're disappointed, or it's in print and you spend all that more money and add another game to your shelf that is already full. But again, a good, not too bad of a problem to have.
All right.
And then we go on to I guess I'm gonna quit the trying to do the good segues here. We're going on to a different kind of community. If you aren't actually physically in the same space as someone, but you want to play a game with them, online games are a real blessing, and mainly for us, our primary way to play games online is Board Game Arena. We are not sponsored, we just love it that much. Although if they want to sponsor us, we are welcoming that.
Yes. 'Cause, yeah, we've done a lot of try before you buys, and we do that by yeah, using the games or looking at the games on Board Game Arena. But yeah, I think it's been a great tool. I'm really thankful for it for some games that I've had interest in and they're on there.
Yeah.
And then I kind of can decide based on that, like how important it is to me to actually buy a physical copy. Maybe
Right?
some games it's not worth it.
Yeah, right
Uh,
over your shoulder is a game that we played on Board Game Arena and loved it so much. We decided to buy the physical copy. Maybe you had already pre-ordered it by the time we played it and you didn't tell me that. I don't know.
no, I had not, but yeah, River of Gold was one great example of a game on Board Game Arena that really loved right away, first play, and had to get a physical copy. But yeah, it's also a great way to play with others, especially if you're not in the same area.
Yeah.
There's some finagling you could do to maybe play some games, you know, kind of physically and apart.
Yeah.
But if you both had like the components and stuff, but I think this one is a great, and I know there's like Tabletop Simulator and Tabletopia and stuff like that, other options as well. But yeah, this is the one we use. But online gaming, I think, is a great way to be able to, I don't know, try new games and um, just play with a bunch of different people as well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Just so many aspects to it. Play when apart, play new games you don't own, and meet new people.
Hmm.
And it really helps with especially learning a game, as it handles everything for you. And you just wish, I hope that this new game that we have to the table is easy to play and very user friendly. And when it is, it's fantastic. So ease of play. So this is either a really good player aid that explains all the little bits that you might have to go searching in a rule book for because you're questioning it turn after turn after turn. You just can't get it in your head. And have a helpful reminder there is always fantastic, especially if there's one for every player.
Yes, yes. Anything that helps ease of play, especially those player aids for games that have maybe just a slight bit, maybe too much to remember at least in your first couple plays, or in this example, if special tiles do special things or special units do special things, it's a very easy way to go back and look at it. And yes, every player having one to themselves makes it 100 times better, if
Yes,
not more.
maybe a million. And then another side of it is kind of just great built-in trays in the game to help you set up the game. And I think just the best of the best is kind of Dwellings of Eldervale. Very expensive game, but fantastic production. And this is a player's tray with all their components sorted from game start. You just take one of these trays out, pop the lid off, and you are ready to go. And it even has some little information there, like you can have a maximum of 5 in there. It has max 5 written there, so it also is reminding you of those things and little restrictions. Just makes everything so much easier.
Mhm. 100%. This and yeah, just any inserts and stuff that do a great job of actually setting up and tearing down a game. I know recently I got the insert for Anno 1800. If you've never played that game, there are 1,800 tiles, I'd like to say. It's probably not that, I don't think it's that many, but it feels like 1,800 tiles that you'd have to typically set up all in their individual spots. But this insert makes the setup and teardown insanely quicker. I mean, it gets
Oh,
it to the
yeah.
table. You could probably play an extra game in the time that it saves you. So, any of these things that just make the game that much easier to get off the shelf, um, make it easier to play. Yeah, very thankful for those things.
Yes. And next up, we have, there's no good translation. There's probably one, I'll think of it later. Livin the Theme. This one is, I just saw that. I was like, this got to be the image. I'm like, what could I put for this? Where you just get into a game and get into the experience that you really can't get anywhere else. So if it's a pirate themed game, you can just really get into it. act like a pirate. Do a voice if you want. You can dress up. If you want to go into a dungeon and really get a little spooky vibe going on as you're chucking your dice and trying to survive, just getting a little taste of as if you're living in the scenario, is something that you can get elsewhere. There's like role playing and things like that, but we're not quite that outgoing with this sort of thing. So I think board games just give you that perfect level.
Hmm. And I would say I'm definitely more of a overall mechanics or mechanisms, whatever way you want to call it. Probably more that than theme, but I do love when a theme interests me, even if it doesn't necessarily. Sometimes you probably have to give it a little bit more to actually get the theme to come through, or you have to maybe act it up a little bit sometimes. But that can be fun. And then other times, I feel like there are ones where the theme allows you to maybe learn something or learn about a new place. Like I feel like the one I always think of is like Embarcadero, where I think it's now it's been a while. I think it's like was it San Francisco or
I was thinking,
something
yeah.
along there where people had originally come in ships and then just left their ships there, and then they kind of got built on top of by buildings and stuff. Like learning about cool things like that. Board games give you the opportunity to learn those things, and yeah, and just themes in general. Like you said, you could be a cowboy or something. Something I'm probably never going to be as an accountant. That's probably not going to happen. But it allows me to be that cowboy
Yeah.
for that 60 minutes or however long the game is.
And,
And
and I'm
yeah, it
sure
just
there's
allows you.
games that let cowboys be accountants for 30 minutes.
Exactly. You got Predator, and you know you're hiring the accountant and they're saving you money or something. Maybe not quite the same, but it's probably the closest that cowboy will feel.
Yes. Yeah, it's fantastic. I think Unmatched is a really good one for that, where you can just choose various different characters and just really get into it. And this might be the best fitting image for something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, then we go on to beauty. And this is one that I put here just for artwork in a game or components in a game, like Everdell, obviously Andrew, with one of the best artists out there for board games, and just has amazing, beautiful creatures and structures in this world he's built. And then there's also awesome components to go with that. Little squishy pink berries in there and little pebbles are just so awesome combined together to be one of the best looking games, best feeling games too, ever made. And there's so many games that just seemingly prioritize making the best visual impact they can.
Yeah. And this one is definitely one that I think has even I feel like it's even been maybe since we started kind of playing board games. That's probably been what 10 years now.
Yeah.
But I think it's changed pretty significantly even in that amount of time. And yeah, now like Everdell, games like that, I mean, the production values on a lot of these games are just way over the top, and it's just great artwork. It's beautiful to look at. It's kind of like makes you like, oh man, I need some of that artwork to hang on the wall because it just looks so good and makes me happy to see that great artwork. And then yeah, the different pieces and bits in games. It's always fun to find some different shaped wooden pieces, and it's like, wow, I've seen a ton of them now, but I had never seen one like this, and this is awesome. It's
Yeah.
just, yeah, really. I'm thankful that it's gotten to the point where it's kind of the standard. It's probably
Yeah.
made games more expensive,
Yeah.
but so it's give and take. But I do love that it's compared to maybe if you go look at some of the older games, it's
Yeah.
definitely gotten better. I think. I guess it's in the eye of the beholder. Some
Yeah.
people might say I prefer that old stuff, which is 100% fair as well.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful that I mean, there's options for everyone out there.
Yeah.
If
There
you
are.
like that, maybe older looking game, maybe that's what you prefer, that style. You've got that as well. You've got the option too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, just everything from just the littlest thing to just some of the most overproduced. Electronic tower. Return to Dark Tower has this electronic tower with spinning things in it, spitting out skulls. You can go complete toy factor or just elegance, whatever you want. Then we move on to being smart, using your brain. And that's, I think, who was it? Who says it? That board games are just tricking people into doing math. Is that Tom Vassell? Is that what he says? Forget
I
who's
think
one.
that was Mick from Our Family Plays Games.
Oh, yeah, I think it is.
I
Well,
think that's a Mick.
they're pretty much the same person. But yeah, once I hear it, I'm like, yeah, that is what it. I feel betrayed. Board games have
It
tricked
is.
me into using my brain.
It really is. It definitely is tricking people to use their brain, but I think it's a great way to do it. Especially, yeah. There's all different levels of how hard you want to use your brain too in games. There's some that it's like it's like you're maybe going to work almost
Oh, yeah,
levels of using your brain, and then there's other ones where you're just still stimulating your brain to like, oh, I got to make this choice, but it's not like I'm
yeah, yeah,
have smoke coming out of my ears or something because I'm just thinking so hard. But you still get to use that. You get to think about what's my best option here, and I just love having those different levels and different options, a way to keep your brain stimulated and still hopefully have fun. I hope
yeah.
I hope some people aren't playing these really heavy hardcore games and not enjoying themselves, not just making it work. But I know I tend to enjoy them. I guess I haven't played that many like really
Yeah,
heavy games like Vital Lacerda levels, but I do enjoy problem solving, and board gaming definitely provides the option to do that in a pretty risk-free environment. I
yeah.
think that's another good thing.
Yeah, I think that is the big thing is that it is just a game. It is risk free. You do what you can, and you're like, I think this is what I want to go for, and it's really satisfying when you can really get it to work just the way you want it to. And if it doesn't, or if luck is just not quite on your side, it's like, I tried something. Maybe I'll try it again and do better next time, or maybe I'll try something completely different.
Hmm.
Yeah. Great, great stuff. Yeah, also probably a good thing for like children to have to
Oh,
introduce
no.
them to games. And I mean, I'm guessing there are a ton of things geared towards children that are pretty much games, but board games are the way to go.
They're definitely the way to go. Get that because yeah, I think Mick says something about that too. I don't remember exactly his quote, but something about sneaking the math on the kids or something along those lines. I don't remember exactly what he says.
Oh, Nick, we love Nick. And on to the second to last one here. This has to do where we live, and it applies to everyone, or not where I live, but where you live here. That is survive the winter. We live in Minnesota, and it gets cold. And not just a nice little cold, like, oh, go outside, go for a little walk. It's nice and chilly out. Give the dog a walk. No, this is way too cold to even consider going outside. What are you to do but play board games? Board games are always available.
Yes, and I mean it could probably be used to survive the heat too. There's
Yeah,
probably some days where it's so hot that you don't really want to go outside for that either, so it'd be a good thing to do. But yeah, definitely the long Minnesota winters definitely provides something to do that, yeah, maybe not the same as being able to do outdoor activities, but
yeah,
still being able to get together with others, hang out with other people, and you know, play board games. It's a great way to do it, and I think maybe I'm just totally wrong here, but I thought once that Tom said board games are kind of a bigger thing in kind of the Midwest area. So I wonder if that has anything to do with them having the winters versus it's
Could.
not quite as popular in the South, where people can probably go outside most of the year. Obviously, there's going to be those really hot days, but Minnesota has really hot days too in the summer, so you just don't get any good days in
It
Minnesota.
ain't fair.
You get about five a year that you have to take advantage of.
And then you're like, dang it, I want to be playing board games, but I'm stuck outside enjoying the weather.
Exactly. That'll be the one day of the summer that you've got. Oh shoot, I was gonna get together and play some board games. I'd really like to go outside though. Yeah.
Yes, so wherever you are, whatever it is, a storm, anything, get inside, play some games.
Yes.
But finally, the most important thing, everyone says it. Don't worry, as long as you had fun. That is all that matters. Fun. Oh, and winning. And winning can be pretty fun too. As long as you don't get too competitive, but we can get pretty competitive, and I think if you're both competitive, I think winning it's not too shameful to say that that is very enjoyable.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, as long as no one takes it too hard and no one's I don't know, takes it too far when they win either. Uh, if you have just the right level, both of you feel the same way. I think yeah, getting that win is can be very satisfying and enjoyable. And I'm always thankful when I can get a W, especially over Pepper, because he never lets me win, even, no matter how hard I try.
Exactly.
If you go back and watch our unmatched tournament, you can go see the bloodbath.
That is
That
not
was my
representative.
tournament showing. It was terrible.
The one tournament he doesn't dominate, and it's on film. Oh. But yeah,
Yeah,
for the other side, fun is the main part of board games. That's what it is. It's a hobby to enjoy, to have fun, whether that is just a solo gamer, if that's how you have fun, up to a large group or a convention just with a spouse or something like that. As long as you have fun, share those memories with others. I mean, what more can you ask for?
yeah. It's definitely the. I mean, the only reason to be really playing games, I think, is to have that fun. I mean, obviously, we talked about how you can uh, use your brain a little bit too. That's a good thing. Another way to make sure you stay sharp. But the fun is definitely the main thing. And if you're not having fun, then probably worth looking into other hobbies, other things. I would suggest movies are fun, or I'm sure some sport. I like golf. That's fun. I would suggest trying those out if you aren't finding yourself having any fun with this, and maybe it's something you need a break from and can go have fun doing something else, and then come back to it. Because I think in this hobby, for how many games there are and options, different levels, and yeah, party games, and just pretty much anything you could ask for, you should be able to find something to have fun with.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that is the biggest thing. If you're not having fun, yeah, that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Yeah, not having fun. Just get out of here. Get out of here. Not here. You continue watching this video to the very end. Like and subscribe, but then you can leave. Leave the hobby.
And then come back and watch our other videos.
Yes. Yes.
So we have a video every 2 to 3 days, so you'll only be out for a few days.
Yes. Yeah. So that is all 10 things. The only 10 things we are thankful for in the hobby. Now, there are so many more and so many subcategories of each of these. We could go on and on and on and on and on.
Yes. But yeah, let us know in the comments below if you agree with this list, if you have some that you think are that you're more thankful for. Let us know. We'd love to hear them. But yeah, once again, we're thankful for all of you guys watching our videos, following along. If you've made it this far, we'd love if you could subscribe, like the video, let us know what other type of content you'd like to see, what kind of lists that we love to make and really are thankful for. Which one do you want to see? Because most likely we would be willing to do it if we haven't already.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is everything we've got here. So, as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.